Walking down through my local town centre the other day, and in front of me was a bunch or a group of students who were busily chattering away, enjoying themselves, and I was party to the conversation. I didn't quite understand the language they were speaking in because it was a language that I just didn't recognise, and I'm normally pretty good with languages, but this one had me totally baffled. And it took me some time until one of the young students suddenly made a comment in our local dialect or accent, and then it suddenly dawned on me that, pardon me, what the guys were talking about, or the language they were using, was in actual fact text language. Now, I have never heard this before, although I've seen it and used it in terms of sending text messages, but this was the first time I'd ever actually heard a conversation in text language. So it was rather, in fact it was unique. But when you stop to think about this, it's unique also in as much that under normal circumstances, the spoken language comes first and then it's followed by the written language. But in this particular case, we have a situation where the written language has appeared and now it's followed by the spoken language. Most strange. Will it catch on, I ask myself. I doubt it somehow, because if you know anything about the sign language, there are sign languages in the different countries. There is an international sign language, but I don't think it's universal as such, because certainly the French have their own sign language. The British or the UK have their own sign language. No doubt Russia has its own sign language, and we could go on and on. So the question is, will this language take off? And of course, one of the big problems is, how do we replace the ubiquitous emoticons? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not quite sure. But the signs for showing that we're happy, we're gloom, we're sad, etc., etc. Will we need to fall back on our own facial expressions, which have done a pretty good job up to now, but have been surpassed by those wonderful yellow characters that we see or we use when we're texting? Further along, as I was continuing with my stroll, I was still listening to people's conversations, and some of the words that seem to appear lots and lots of occasions was stress. Everybody seemed to be stressed. Next in line was cool, chill, and smell the coffee. I've got news for you guys out there, the youngsters in particular. This has all been said and done before. And I'm about to read you a poem, and I'm not a very good reader of poems, but it was written by a guy called William Henry Davis. Sorry for looking down, but I just want to make absolutely certain I get all the names right. And this goes back over 100 years old. And you will discover, if you listen to the poem, that there's actually nothing new under the sun. So give me 1 second to turn the page, and then it'll be heads down and looking and reading. Okay? Right, here we go. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. No time to see, when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. No time to see, in broad daylight, streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this if, full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. So there you go. You can forget all about smelling the coffee. Just read the poem. And I'll turn back and flick back to the other page and give you a bit more details on this guy who actually wrote it. At least I think I'll be able to turn the page. Yeah. William Henry Davis, born in Newport, Monmouthshire on either the 25th of April 1871 or July 1871. He had a tremendous life. He went to America, became a hobo. He led a nomadic existence. He joined the gold rush. He met a wonderful character called Three-Fingered Jack, but slipped when trying to jump onto a moving freight train and subsequently lost a leg. Back in London, he lived in a hostel for down and outs. At the age of 52, he married a nurse half his age. He died in Nailsworth in Gloucestershire on the 26th of September 1940. Of his enormous output, Leisure is probably the best remembered. So remember the guy's name, William Henry Davis, and look him up on the net. Okay, see you all later. Bye for now.